Okay, team, here is our third example of the day. Now, this one initially is going to look terrifying to some of you because you see fractions. But I promise you, this is actually a pretty easy problem, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and start. First thing that I notice is I see a 4, a 12, and an 18. I know that 4 can be multiplied by a number to get to 12, and they can cancel. And I also know that 12 and 18 hold the common factor of 6, so they probably have a pretty small LCM. So in this case, we can't use just one equation to get rid of the other two. We'll have to use different combinations. So as always, I'm going to put my very top equation in orange. I'm going to put my middle equation in blue, and I'm going to put my third equation in purple. Now here's what I want to do. I also noticed this. Oh, and by the way, this also factored in my reasoning. I also see a 3 right here and a 3 right there in the denominator. I know that if I multiply the whole top line by 3, that denominator will go away. I also know that if I multiply 4 by 3, I'll get to 12. So this seems to kill two birds with one stone. So let's tackle this. Let's say, okay, we have 4x minus 10y plus 2 over 3z is equal to negative 38 over 3. And we said we're going to use this one to get rid of our second equation, that 12x plus 16y minus 2z is equal to 24. Okay, let's not worry about anything else. Let's just start here. I also know that in order to get rid of a positive 12x, to get rid of that positive 12x, I need to turn 4 into a negative 12x. So 4 times what number will get me to negative 12? And that would be 4 times negative 3. So negative 3 times 4, we know will give us negative 12x. Negative 3 times, that's a 10, will give us positive 30y. And negative 3 times 2/3, guys, here's the trick. When your denominator is the same as your whole number, they essentially cancel. And we have this negative times this 2, it becomes negative 2z is equal to, and here we have this negative 3 times negative 38 over 3. Guys, we know that a negative times a negative is a positive, and the 3 on top and the 3 on bottom cancel, 38. And check it out. We can now add straight down. Our 12x minus 12x cancels. We know that 16y plus 30y is 46y. Negative 2z minus 2z is negative 4z, and this is equal to 24 plus 38, which is going to be 62. And check it out. We have our first two-variable equation. Okay, now I told y'all we also want to take our second equation. We're now going to take this 12x plus 16y minus 2z is equal to 24. And we're going to somehow use that to cancel out our third equation, negative 18x plus 6y plus 4z is equal to negative 10. Alright, now since we have to cancel out the x's, we have to find the LCM. So finding the LCM, let's see, I know that 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, and 12 times 3 is 36. I know that the LCM for 18 is going to be 18 times 1 is 18, and 18 times 2 is 36. Check it out. All we have to do is change both of these numbers into 36. So let me use orange because it's going to draw a distinction here. And since this one is positive and this one's negative, we don't have to change the sign. And here we can do 12 times 3. Remember 1, 2, 3 to get to 36. And 3 times 12 will give me 36x. 3 times, oh here, let me do this in blue. My apologies. Just because we want this to really stand out. We'll have 3 times 12 is 36. Technical difficulties. 36x. 3 times 16 will be plus 48y. 3 times negative 2 will be negative 6z is equal to, and 3 times 24 is 72. Now from here, remember, we want to multiply this line. I'll multiply by some number in orange again. We want to multiply this line by some number that turns 18 into 36. Well, remember, 18 times 1 is 18. 18 times 2 is 36. So we're going to multiply by 2. And so switching back to my purple, 2 times negative 18 is that nice negative 36x. 2 times 6y is 12y. And 2 times 4z will give us 8z is equal to, and 2 times negative 10 is negative 20. Okay, now let's go ahead and add straight down, and let's keep this in purple. So I know that my x's cancel. 36x minus 36x is in fact 0. I know 48y plus 12y is 60y. And negative 6z plus 8z is going to be 2z is equal to. And 72 minus 20 will give me 52. Well, I now have my 2 by 2 system of equations. Let me pause this and clear this up. And I also want y'all to pause this and finish taking all the notes. Think about the things I talked about. Anything that you didn't understand, rewind the video, watch it again. Okay, so I've cleaned it up, and here are our 2 by 2 equations as I've written them. And when you look at these, what seems like it would be the easiest variable to cancel out? Y or z? Like, I'm asking, can you think of any number? 46 times any number gets to 60. Or can you think of maybe perhaps any number where 2 times some number gets us to 4? And hopefully you've determined you would like to cancel out the z's. Okay, we know that this is positive, we know this is negative, so we don't need to change the signs. And we know that 2 times some number gets us to 4. Well, that's 2 times 2. So here's what we'll do. I will rewrite this up here so we have plenty of room to work. And I know that 2 times 60y is 120y. I know that 2 times 2z is positive 4z. And I know that 2 times 52 is equal to 104. Here in this orange, we have this 46y minus 4z is equal to 62. And let's go ahead and start adding these things together. Now this is pretty easy. 120 plus 46y will in fact, let's just keep this in orange, will in fact give us 166y. 4z minus 4z is 0. And wait a second, 104 plus 62 is 166. And guys, we know that to divide both sides by 166, anything divided by itself will give us 1. Hey, it's almost like I planned this to turn out into a pretty easy example. Okay, now remember, once you get your first variable, you have to choose which one of these two by two systems should we use to plug it in. Personally, I think I'm going to choose the top one. Or actually, you know what, I'll choose the bottom one so I can switch the colors up here. So let's say we have 60y plus 2z is equal to 52. And we know that our y value is this positive 1, and now it can work. We know that 60 times 1 is 60, plus 2z is equal to 52. We know that to get rid of our constant, we always have to subtract by subtracting 60. And now I have 2z is equal to 52 minus 60, which is negative 8. Of course, I divide both sides by 2, and we get this. We get z is equal to negative 4. Okay, well guys, it seems like I can actually even finish out this problem without erasing anything. Now that I know y, now that I know z, now we can go ahead and find our remaining value of x. And I would always encourage you to use the easiest equation. I'm going to use this middle one. So let's say this, 12x plus 16y minus 2z is equal to 24. And let's plug them in. What things do we know? We know that in orange, y was equal to 1. We know that in purple, z was equal to, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Look at that. I didn't use a parentheses. And now I have to redo a little writing here. Okay, that's fine. Okay, minus 2z, and our z was in purple. It's that negative 4. And now we can go ahead and finish out the problem. We know that we have 12x plus 16 times 1 is 16. And negative 2 times negative 4 is is positive 8. A negative times negative is a positive, be careful, is equal to 24. And now I know that I have 12x plus, let's see, 16 plus 8 will actually give us 24 is equal to 24. And now we're just solving for x. We can subtract 24 from both sides, minus 24. And I'll just kind of write it over here. And now we have 12x is equal to 0. And guys, I would hope you'd know this. Anytime you divide any, 0 by any number, well, we would say this. X is equal to 0. Now recall, this is not our final answer. We have to put it all together. And so let me just choose a color that's going to really pop out here. We know every point is made up of an x, a y, and a z. And our x value is 0, our y value is 1, and our z value is negative 4. So the answer here is 0, 1, comma, negative 4. Alright guys, I know that this was crazy. It's been a crazy day. Finish this up, and the following, I think you have 3 problems. You've got this. I believe in you.